Hi everyone, it's me again. Squish Gang is present. And today we're just gonna do some sort of like channel intro-esque video. So I get so many questions about what my major is, what I'm doing, who I am, where I come from. So I'm just gonna like do a chit chat, get ready with me circa 2017 beauty community energy. Yeah, so that's what we're gonna talk about today. No tea, drama, or scandals. Who would have thought a fun shiny red cylinder can give you so much serotonin? Also, I'm gonna make an effort to show the products, and I'll also like put them on screen when I type them. So first I'm just gonna put on primer and stuff like that and get into the video. I currently study English literature and rhetoric at the University of Waterloo, which is a university in Canada. Yes, I am not American, which is why every time I talk about temperatures, I say them in really low numbers because Celsius makes sense. It is currently -6 degrees. I don't know what that is in American numbers. I don't know, 10? I study English literature and rhetoric. I have a minor in philosophy, and I am currently just about to wrap up my second last semester in English literature and rhetoric I'm currently also doing what's called an honors essay, which is when you do your own research on a topic. It's just a baby thesis. Like, it's a thesis you do over 1 year that's like shorter, but not by that much, to be honest. So in my case, it's about 40 pages, which is a lot. And I'm talking about the use of education materials in electrical physics education versus electronics information technology education, and the way that they perceive career students versus people in academia, pretty much. So physics students versus your, electronic students. So that's the current research that I'm doing. And with that, I'm going to go to grad school too. I'm applying for that right now. Which, all of this kind of goes into why I haven't really made videos this semester, because I work, like I tutor, and then I also do the research, and I go to school. So on top of that, I also make an effort to like exist with my friends and things like that. So the making videos kind of fell short, because I also am I'm in 4 full classes and the research project. And just for graduate school alone, I had to come up with a 10-page writing sample, which I had to form my introduction and everything, and it was this whole thing. So, because of these things, I have not been able to really, be on the ball. So, for graduate studies, I intend on doing what's called educational technology, which is not an education degree in the light of, like, being a teacher. It's an education degree in the light of doing curriculum work and things like that. So in the case of me, I intend on working with what kind of teaching materials are acceptable and what kind of teaching materials people are going to be using in the classroom. That's kind of my intention, because I find that the ones that we currently use are incredibly subpar and kind of classist towards people who are used to reading. A lot of this I've actually learned from this channel. We're also going to try the Fenty skin tint today, but a lot of this I've actually learned from this channel because I've seen the reception that people have had to the videos that I make and how they've been really helpful for them, because they don't fit well in the current learning environments. And it's like, I could not agree more, because, I did what's called, in English, I believe, a diploma of college education in what's called a cégep in Quebec, which is a 2-year college. I think in America, it's the same thing as a community college. That's what I've understood. Except in Canada, like the ones in Quebec are essentially free. So that's what I did. So I did that in science. I passed it and everything. I actually got into the University of Waterloo in science, not in English. But then it was the way that those courses were taught and how they were formulated that I just like absolutely dreaded. Because I have pretty bad anxiety, and I could know the content more than the person that designed it to all I wanted. And it would then, like, be useless because I would have such bad anxiety when it came to the exam that then I would just do bad in the class regardless of my actual performance throughout the entire rest of the semester. With COVID, I've noticed that a lot of teachers have gotten rid of the exam in the same way that they have before, which has been really fun because I just, like, absolutely can't stand exams. I've always hated them. And also, like, the way that they've been teaching the courses have been different. Obviously, like, some things left to be desired. As we all know, we've been new. But this is where I come in, I think, you know, and I've actually been using the channel as a place to kind of show in my applications and stuff like that the interest that you guys have had to the content that I've made, and the way that this is a more inclusive, this is a more inclusive place for education, and people tend to gravitate towards it because I come off as approachable, and, you know, when I'm saying something, I define the terms before I get into them. I make more common anecdotes. I describe the theory in a way that is accessible to people. And you guys are I'm not leaving anything out. I'm not dumbing it down. It is the same theories, the same processes. I just kind of do it in a different approach. I feel like there's space in the education sphere to have more approachable forms of education. So that's what I'm trying to do. Anyways, so I mentioned that I'm from Canada. In particular, I am what's called Québécoise. Québécoise means French Canadian girl, pretty much. Because, as we know, or, well, maybe not. French, languages like French, and I believe also Spanish, can't remember, also have, like, masculines and feminines, right? So, Québécoise is just feminine French. Me being Québécoise means that I lived in the French province. French is not my first language, but it is my second language. I know it, I guess depending on who you ask, is how well I know it, because here, when I've, like, interacted with people when I had campus classes at the University of Waterloo, my French was, like, top tier, god tier, but now it's, like, if I go back to Quebec, it's, like, subpar at best, so French is not my first language, but it is my second language, which is why once in a while I will throw in a French word because I can't remember what the English one is, because my mom is francophone. So when she raised me, she used all these fun words that I don't understand. And now I don't know the English ones because she wouldn't use the English ones. Because she wanted me to understand the French ones. So that's a little bit of a story for me. Anyways, I started making these types of videos before. This is what I normally did. Honestly, where these kind of chit-chat get ready with me is about just school and stuff. I have one about my experience with the co-op system. I have some of my experiences in high school, which I got berated by my old high school classmates about, which was awesome. I loved that for me. Had to block multiple accounts as a result. Anyway, so yeah, I've went up my high school experiences, my college experiences, how it's been like here, and with that, I, by design, those videos got like 30 views, because they're kind of just for my friends, I like video editing, and I wanted to have an avenue to exercise that, and this is what I did. Now, in April of this year, I was like, oh dang, actually no, technically in July of last year, 2020, I was like, oh, my degree can be useful in talking about these here YouTubers, and I made my Rhetoric of Jeffree Star video. But by that time, the drama had already died down a lot, so that video got 50 views or something like that. So, I was like, whatever, expected, my channel had no basis, really. I did meet my friend Elle through that video, though, because she wanted to see if there was anything like that, because she studies rhetoric as well. And then, so that was cool. I got something out of that video, despite the fact that it got, like, no views. I just made the videos really, really casually, because I couldn't really, You know, some people say, like, you only make YouTube for views. Like, I get it, because, you know, obviously you want somebody to watch it. I was kind of just doing it as an activity to exercise my ability to video edit it. So, that's not always true for people, but I did have a good old fun time when people commented, because I did really like engaging with people. But so then April of this year, I made my Rhetoric of Gabby Hanna video. I was like, let's give this another kick. By then, I had done another 2 semesters of my rhetoric degree, so I was like, you know, we got more weapons in the arsenal besides just critical discourse analysis, because when I made my Jeffree Star video, touched it in my eye, when I made my Rhetoric of Jeffree Star video, I had only done about 2 semesters of rhetoric, I think, at the time. And then by the time I did the Gabby Hanna, I was about to go into my 5th. So I had a little bit more, you know, gas. That video, I hit right at the peak of the Gabus Hannis drama, and was able to kind of, I remember that video, in the first day, it said that it was doing better than all my other ones, which I was like, fair, because, you know, I don't really make anything. And it hit like 100 views, and I was like, oh, that's sick, because I only had one other video before get triple digits in the views. And then all of a sudden I started getting comments, a lot of them being like, oh my god, how do you only have like, but like, why do you only have like 30 subscribers? You know, your videos, this is like so well done, blah, 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 blah. And then, you know, overnight it went to like 1,000 views, and I was like ecstatic. I was like, oh my god. And then, so I made that video, and I was like, damn, this is awesome. I really liked the engagement. I gained a few subscribers. I had people that were reaching out to me a little bit, like just like, you know, like 4. Don't like get it twisted. Nothing deep by any means. But yeah, I made that video, people were reaching out. It was really fun. Then I made a James Charles video and a Shane Dawson video. Got nearly, like, not nearly as much traction because they were hella old news by then, but I still want to talk about them because, you know, again, it is my channel and my place to talk about things. So, like, I'm going to talk about what I want to talk about, you know what I mean? Like, I talk about Zoe Laverne. No one cares about Zoe Laverne. No matter what she thinks. So, you know, like, I do what I want. I don't really care about how much traction I get. This is very much a hobby for me. If it ever becomes a job, I mean, okay, but it will always be second to something else, just because, you know, that's not nearly really my passion. Anyway, so then comes the Gabby Hanna, Jimmy Snow, Rachel Oates debacle, which for quite some time, so I started watching Jimmy Snow in my 2nd semester of university, which would have been my 1st semester of English and my 1st rhetoric class. So, you know, I didn't think much of what he was saying. I was kind of like, whatever, you know, big men say things in confidence, hence man probably right, which I think this stage of the game, men believe and then no one else does, which is good. So I would watch his videos and it would be like, okay, yay, these are fun. Also, he was still doing his mostly Dear Mr. Atheist content. So, you know, I was still enjoying the vibes, you know. And then that situation happened and I was like, because I actually saw it go down on Twitter, but I was like super confused and just thought it was some sort of like petty arguments. I just like didn't care. I didn't realize like how much it affected Rachel Oates specifically. I found this out later, obviously, as her videos developed, things like that. So then I saw, when it started blowing up again because of Gabby's tirade against Rachel Oates, I was like, oh boy, what's happening here? And then I watched Jimmy's video. I was not fueled by a single other commentary video's clout, despite what people would want to mention. I was not entranced by any sort of anything. I saw his video and I sat through the first 15 minutes and I had to turn it off. I was like, this is so just absolutely trash. And so then when I saw people were making videos on it, I was like, oh, so people actually care about this. And I was like, you know, let me put my crack at it, because I think a lot of people that were making the videos, a lot of them weren't necessarily fans of his in the past. And, you know, I saw a couple of them that were kind of from the perspective of people that weren't necessarily atheists themselves, which was fine, but I wanted to put that perspective of like, just because he's an atheist doesn't mean he's beyond criticism from other secular people. But also, I kind of have a kindness, or at least I like to feel like I have a kindness towards people that don't have the same beliefs as me, which cannot be said necessarily for all of the secular community. I'm not like trying to dig at anybody, I'm just saying like in my own experiences, I've gotten a lot of notions of like people who are religious are less intelligent, which is not true, and I really don't like that idea, but that has come up quite a few times. Regardless, so I made that video, and then big explosion on her. Oh my god, I think the first day it had already reached 1,000 views. By then the Gabby Hanna video had hit 4,000 or something like that. I did have a Creepshow art video before that, however, that I did make in the prime of Creepshow art everything, and that had 7,000 views. I got that all in a day, which was also nuts. Didn't gain my channel that many subscribers. I feel like with the Creepshow art thing, it kind of was so sudden that everyone was reporting on it, so if you made videos on it, you didn't really gain that many subs. That's just my opinion. That's what it seems like it happened anyways, which was fine. Again, I'm not in it for the subs or anything like that. I just kind of... Oop, my voice cracked. That was awful. I'm not in it for, you know, really any of those kinds of things, but it was just interesting. I just did my eyeliner off of camera because you have to quite literally be superhuman to be able to do that while talking. Any hoozles. So I had made the Creepshow art video, then the Jimmy Snow video, because I forgot to mention that. I forgot I even made that video, just because the Jimmy Snow thing got incredibly chaotic. So I made the Jimmy Snow video from what I feel like was somewhat of a unique perspective. I think maybe I got reached out to by a couple of people now that I now have been on their channels and stuff like that, which was Steve McRae and Cheshire Vic as well. From that, I was able to kind of expand just like my YouTube relationships a little bit. And also I did that live stream with Katie Daisy as well, who was like, I think the biggest person in this whole thing. I think in my own video, I had talked about people getting blocked by Jimmy Snow as a result of them trying to advocate for people. And I think the specific screenshot I used was actually somebody else, just because I was trying to show the volume. But if I remember correctly, she was the one that I started with. So from there, you know, I had expanded my community, and then Little Sugar Words, or Taylor, made her videos, and then I got to know her too. I met a bunch of people on Twitter, and It's Malcolm YT was making Gabby Hanna videos as well. So, you know, I got to really, like, expand the YouTube community that I was in, which I really enjoy, with these other very small commentary channels. Like, all of my, like, commentary friends are under 5K subscribers, or under 10, let's say, to be confident. Then came my commentary bros video, because like between that I made another Jimmy Snow video. I made a couple other kind of smaller videos. I think I made another James Charles video, and you know, like pretty relaxed in the energy, if you will. So then I made my commentary bros video, because this came from Edwin's generation, Nicholas Diorio, and Bo Blacks and stuff like that, kind of coming after Hello Leash and people like that, right? Which, you know, did my video age like milk? Yes. But not for the reasons that I listed in the video. The pretenses in which these actions were occurring were still unwarranted and excessive, to say the least. Honestly, with all of those types of channels, you can do a, like, bingo card or a, like, checklist, okay? They all have a thumbnail design that looks like there's, like, a sunset erupting in the background with the person's, like, highly saturated face in the middle. They all have a video talking about how much they hate Ethan Klein. Every single one. Please tell me I'm wrong. Give me one channel of, like, that font that doesn't have one. They have videos featuring each other, or streams featuring each other. They have a second channel for live streams, and they list each other in some categories such as channels to visit or reliable sources, which, girl, I don't know, I work with sourcing a lot, and I would not call those channels reliable. It's interesting because I was watching videos yesterday revisiting Pyrocynical's stuff. And then I was reminded of the Google Doc that Turkey Tom made about the Pyrocynical allegations. And I looked at it again and I was just like, oh my god. There are a lot of, like, regardless of if it's true or not, which it might be, just the like, leaps were, like, pretty, bad, especially if you knew anything about Pyrocynical at the time, because a lot of it was talking about how, like, oh, age in the Twitter bio or whatever, but, like, Pyrocynical, like, a whole meme about him was that he was banned on Twitter for years. He's been banned since, like, 2018, I think, or something. Point is, I'm not defending any of those actions in any way. I'm just saying the type of, you know, reporting that was made was kind of weird. Came was that Commentary Bros video. And that Commentary Bros video really stirred some feathers. I was in multiple live streams. I only saw about 10 minutes of one where the critique was, she's telling us that all we use are screenshots and Twitter conversations, but all she's using are screenshots and Twitter conversations, which then they proceed to yell over me the entire time I cite the academic sources. Which would then differentiate me and my style from theirs, which was literally the whole point. I'm neither here nor there about that. I just, when I saw the gauge of the criticism, I was like, oh, okay, so they're just really mad. I made them really mad, which is fine. Like, the thing is with me, like, I don't revisit topics on the gaze of, like, that they've responded to me or something. I revisit just based on, like, what the actions are. You know, I'm kind of impartial like that, I guess, in that way, except, you know, not like Keemstar impartial, though, like, actually impartial. Cause, like, I remember Edwin made this comment that was really funny to me, which he said, are we just a school assignment for her? Well, Edwin, if you're watching, yeah. Why do you have to be worth so much more? I think that's what I've learned with this channel mostly, is this, like, absolute, this fueling on the internet that's just so unique to me because I didn't grow up with it. So it's just been a very interesting conversation, if you will. Then came the Commentary Bros video, ruffled a lot of feathers. I just blocked them all on Twitter. Haven't heard a single peep since. I don't care. I don't wake up every day and go, damn, what does Edwin's generation think about me? What does Nicholas Diorio say about me on Twitter? You know, my video, I didn't slander them. I don't think I falsely critiqued them in any way. I think they disagree on what I had to say, but all the stuff happened. So, you know, I stand where I stand. In regards to Hello Leash, I wasn't close enough to her to have been impacted by the community falling and everything like that. However, I liked some of her videos. That was pretty much how, as deep as that was. I pinned her comment at one point, mostly out of just excitement that a bigger creator had watched one of my videos. That was kind of, it's the same thing with the Gus Johnson video. I pinned Sabrina's comment in the Gus Johnson video is what I'm trying to say. My lord. Anyways, so yeah, I pinned, like, when a big creator watches my video, I just pin the comment, because I'm like, oh, the person that I was mentioning has, you know, taken notice to this. It's just interesting, right? So yeah, that's all my comments on those things, if anyone was wondering. I don't think anybody was. So finally, just to sum up to how this channel works, this is a rhetoric-driven commentary channel where I talk themes of, you know, popular culture, social media, influencers, things like that. And then from there, I apply what I've learned at school in regards to rhetoric, communications, genres, things like that. And then we just kind of see where everything fits. This is a channel where I use those analytical things. If you're like Edwin and start screaming when I read from a textbook, you have the wrong channel. That's the space that I'm trying to fill in the commentary community, is one of, you know, almost like a essay format, video essay format that's not 2 hours long, in like a citation style and things like that. Like, I feel like Also because in Canada, let's say, there's only 4 universities that have rhetoric majors or rhetoric studies, and I go to one of those. So I feel like I obviously have some sort of unique educational background that I feel like I want to display for other people. And then with that, I can kind of build my own resume, my own understandings and communications with other people in hopes that when I do my research and then my further education and systems of education and things like that, that I can help people with these unique understandings. So it all kind of comes in together. And that's the channel. That's the Mika SF Rhetoric Philosophy Inspired Commentary channel. And that's the makeup look. So you guys have a great day. I will see you around with like an actual commentary video at some point when I'm a little bit less busy. But yeah, you guys have a good day. Bye.
Yes, I did get a dress from Goodwill. Yes, I do look like a badass and also a savage. And here's why you should get one. The mobility in this thing is insane. The things I can do in this, freaking crazy, way more rad than the things I could do in a suit. You think I could pull this off in a freaking suit? Hey, not a chance. There's no chance. Also, yoked in this thing, bruh. So do yourself a favor, go get a little dressy from Goodwill. Savage.